What? How could you do this to me? You know how much I liked Steve. No, you know how much I liked Steve. I know I never talked to him. He asked you out. That didn't mean you had to say yes. Okay, so let me get this straight. Since I never talked to him and he asked you out, that ended your social contract and now you're in the clear, right? What is the social contract? What are you talking about? Did you even think about my feelings when you went out with him? Which time? You've gone out more than once. Can you believe she did this to me? Steve is so my type. How would I know? Like, you swooped in and took him before I even had the chance to prove he is. Oh, you are so pretentious. Skanky. Rude. Haughty. You're stupid. Selfish. You unreliable. God. Backstabbing. I kind of hate you right now. No good. Oh, no. You are evil. Supercilious. It means you're condescending. Which you are too. And you're a bitch. You're mean. And you know what? You did look fat in those jeans. His friend is a lawyer. He asked about me? What does he look like? What kind of shoes does he have? Don't tell him about the time that I drank too much. I made out with the bartender at Shirley's bachelorette party, okay? Look, did you tell him I make the best brownies?
The idea for the Cell Phone Monologues was this, taking the concept of an actor monologue, usually used for auditions or live theater, and turning it into a narrative short. I really wanted to add great cinematography to what is generally an actor's medium. I've always wanted to work with actress Maya Sayer. She'd done movies like Ides of March with George Clooney. She's part of the web series 8 and 5. She's almost always playing more serious and hardcore characters, and I knew she could be really funny, but I hadn't seen it on film yet. So I wrote this part for her. Maya was a dream to work with. She has a very big theater background, and I love doing the rehearsal process, so we got to rehearse a bit before we shot. So it made things easier on set. When you've had all that work in rehearsal, it makes shooting go a lot smoother. Cinematographer Gil Whitney came on board. We got to shoot at the Columbus Museum of Art. The whole thing that made that very important was, part of the story was I wanted to have a character that was having an enormous fight on the phone, but being in an environment where she had to stay quiet. And I thought a museum would be far more beautiful to shoot in, while at the same time giving a true motivation for trying to keep quiet no matter how angry she was getting.
Which time?
We used the latest digital cameras with really nice, expensive lenses that we rented. Anything to really give a sharpness and just to really sell the beauty of the artwork along with the performance. We had to be very careful. We couldn't get anywhere near a lot of the artwork. We had to keep a safe distance. We had to use very specific LED lighting, because any other lighting we wouldn't be able to use because it could affect or damage the artwork. We had a really good sound department on this. It was really hard conditions. I mean, the air conditioning and the echo in the room made the audio really hard to work with, but Robin Gulcher, who recorded the sound, also did the tweaking in post-production and really made it sing. We had a really good crew. We didn't have a lot of people. We wanted to be able to move in and out really fast. It was a real blessing to be able to shoot inside the Museum of Art. You know, you couldn't shoot with any kind of paintings that were there being borrowed from other museums or, you know, any of the traveling exhibits, because you don't have the rights to use that artwork. But we could only shoot in rooms where the Columbus Museum of Art owned the artwork themselves, which gave us the right to use it. We ended up going out to shoot the front of the museum, the exterior of the museum. We had to try 3 separate times to shoot that because of changing weather conditions. The shot didn't work, or the lighting was bad, or the dolly move wasn't perfect, and we were trying to match the other shot we already did inside the museum. So it took us forever to get that shot, and it took another 9 weeks just to get that one 7-second shot. In terms of the edit, it became a thing of as she got more animated and excited, the shots would go from one to another a lot quicker. That's why we shot so many of her insults at different points in time, just to really amp up her anxiety is something the audience would feel through the edit and the camera work. From the time I conceived and wrote the project to the time we shot was a little over 2 years before we finished the project from when I first came up with the idea of doing it. I just thought I didn't want to compromise. I wanted it to be exactly how I pictured it in my head, and it took a lot longer to make that happen, but in the end, I got exactly what I wanted.